No, seriously. Okay. Hello you guys, welcome back to today's video. This week I am joined by my handsome husband, Cody, and we are going to answer some questions. I put up a little question box on my Instagram story and a lot of you guys came through with the questions.
Yeah, for sure.
The tough ones. No, just playing. But we're just gonna go ahead and get started. Cody, you wanna start with the first question?
Yes, I do. First question is, what are things that I do that ticks her off? And what are things that she does that ticks me off?
Great.
So I want to go ahead and start. I want to start this off right, okay? One thing that she does can drive me up the wall. So any normal person, if they get home after staying up 48 hours and their house is a little dirty, they can just go to bed. She has to clean everything spotless. If there's a few pillows out of place or if there's one dish in the sink, she has to get everything done before her mind can shut off. And I know that's a good thing, but it drives me up the wall because I'm ready to go to bed. And number two, which I think can be brought on by me sometimes, she can be a little sassy. Sometimes when I push her a little too hard, she gets out that vocabulary and she'll just cut you, boy.
So basically what he's saying is he pushes me too far. And I'm a clean person, and you're dirty.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Okay. Let's get freaking started to roast you. But for real, there is probably two things that you do that drives me up the wall. One thing is, I don't know what it is or why, but every single day he leaves his socks in the living room.
I do that.
I
do that, yeah.
Every single day. Like, I'm not kidding.
Why do I do that?
I don't know. I don't understand why. His shoes will be like nicely put away in the closet, and then he'll come in the living room and takes his socks off, and they'll just be like a sock here, a sock there, just chilling on the carpet, and every day I have to pick them up. I don't know why.
That's true.
It's an issue.
That's how we would do it, though.
And then the second thing is he has this sweet other person living inside of him.
I think you're looking for Jesus. Jesus lives inside of him.
Well, I guess you have a third. You have a third person. There's Cody, Jesus, and then there's Mr. Grumpy Pants. Yeah. And he is on the clock from about 9 p.m. to like 7 a.m. And if he is slightly tired, here are the symptoms, okay? Eyes start to get red, okay? And he'll start looking at you like this.
It's time to go to bed. Come on.
Go to bed. It'll start with just one eye. He'll rub with his finger, and then he just freaking... Anyways, basically, if he's tired, he just gets a little sassy and not talkative. Moving on to the second question before we start swinging on each other. Second question is biggest challenges since we've gotten married and how we overcame them. For me, I would say the biggest challenge when we got married was just like figuring out how to adult and how to pay our taxes and stuff like that. So just a little bit of background, Cody has a 1099. So instead of being paid taxes during tax seasons, we actually have to pay our taxes. So we usually end up owing money, and it's just complicated having to figure that out. We have to go through all of our bank statements. It's just a whole thing.
It's the worst.
Yeah.
It is the worst.
Honestly, but how to overcome them, I basically just found out that when you don't know something, best thing to do is Google it and ask questions. So I will just call other adults that I trust and love and just ask them questions. And it's kind of humbling and it feels embarrassing at first because you're like,
how do I pay my taxes? Like, I should know that. I'm an adult now, I'm married.
But like, really some things you just don't know when you're starting off, and you just have to ask. And whenever you find out, then you're good. How about you?
For me, the biggest challenge, I would have to side with you. The financial stuff was really frustrating at first. Just learning how to budget and stuff like that. My parents did a really good job teaching me about finances, saving, and Dave Ramsey and all that. There were a few things that just really didn't work for us. Like, we definitely tried different like types of programs and stuff like that, but we finally had to just like get rid of all the fat and keep the things that applied to us and helped us. So that was something that we really struggled with at first, but we've almost got it down to a science, so we're almost there.
Mm-hmm. You're a little closer on your cheek again.
Third question we got was, how did we meet? I'll let you start off. You tell it good.
Okay, so I'm not gonna go into like major details because the next question is actually, what's your love story? And if you want us to go into like details about our love story, how we met, the whole dating situation, being engaged, the whole thing, then we can make a whole different video on that because I feel like it would take a lot of time. But basically, the simple answer of how did you meet was just at a youth service at our church. He was standing right outside with some of his friends, and I went out there and we kind of introduced ourselves, and friendship started from there, and we started dating a couple years later.
So for those of you who don't know, we've been in each other's lives for 9 years. So it is a pretty juicy, long story. It would take much longer than what this video allows for. So
yeah,
maybe next time.
Yeah, if you do want to see that video of our whole love story, all the details, all the juicy details, then just let us know in the comments. We'll be happy to do that too. All right, I guess this kind of brings us into our next question, which is how long have you all been married? And that is a quick, easy answer. We got married on March 25th in 2017. So we've been married for a little over 3.5 years.
Time is flying like a plane.
It's crazy how fast time goes by. Okay, this is a very popular question and it comes up all the time. People want to know, are we planning on having kids? So basically the simple answer for this question is yes, we are planning on having kids, absolutely. I definitely want, I would say anywhere from 3 to 5 kids. Cody's more of like a 2 kids kind of person. I don't understand why, it's lame. But as far as when we plan on having kids, we'll probably wait another couple of years. I think we'll probably wait at least another year before we even talk about it seriously. We'll kind of just see from there. We're not really giving ourselves a time limit or a time span. We just want to live, and whenever the time feels right, then, you know, we'll start.
Perfect. Okay, so the next question is, other than thrift stores, where do I find modest clothing? To be honest, there's just about any store I've ever been in, I can find modest clothing. It's really not...
Anyways, for real though, I shop at ASOS and Nasty Gal. I don't particularly love the name of that store, but I think those are probably my 2 main ones. I don't really do a lot of shopping, to be honest, if it's not at a thrift store.
That's
so
true.
I really like accessories and stuff from Shein too. So like tights and purses, belts, things like that from Shein. Next question is, what are your pet peeves? So not necessarily pet peeves about each other, just pet peeves in general. You can start us off.
Pet peeves. That's a good one. I consider myself to be a drummer, and so when I go to play somewhere and I have spent the time and energy and effort to learn the song note for note, mostly, and I get there and the other musicians or other musician doesn't know it and we have to spend the entire practice going through each note with them, that is really frustrating.
Practice should be practicing the song, not learning the song.
Woo!
Wow.
That was good.
Right?
That will preach.
I think pretty much my only like major pet peeve is when people say that they can't pull something off. When they come up to me and they're like, wow, that outfit is so nice, or, you know, this is such a unique whatever. I wish I could have that, but...
The claws come out.
But I could never pull that off. Like, what do you mean you could not pull something off? Like, I've already said this in a previous video about how to find confidence in yourself and stuff, but I don't know. I just feel like saying that you can't pull something off isn't a real thing. I think you just have to find the confidence in yourself to wear something. And if you like something, then you just wear it. And that's it. That's like the end of the story. And that's what I do. And that's what I feel everyone should do. Because if you like something, wear it.
Wear it.
Wear it. Yeah, it's probably the only thing that really frustrates me.
Grind your gears.
Yeah, it does.
Peels your bananas.
Peels my bananas.
All right, the next question is, what do we use for our eyelashes? Personally, I use Gorilla Glue and Tony's seasoning with a little bit of motor oil.
For real, I just use these things. I use my Tweezerman eyelash curler. So I used to always get eyelash curlers like from e.l.f., like the $2 ones, and they're great for a season, but they only last for like I'd say a week and a half, and then I'd have to go buy another one. This eyelash curler, I got it on sale for $10. I think it's originally like $20, which is so insane to think about, but I literally use this every single day, and I've had this for
a long time,
like months, like 4 or 5 months, and it has lasted me forever. Next things are just this little e.l.f. wax stick, and I'll show you. It's totally transparent, and it's actually for your eyebrows, but basically you just rub it on. I put it on my eyelashes because it makes them kind of tacky almost. So that way, whenever I actually curl them, they stay curled. People do the same thing with like chapsticks or like lip balms, but it's the same idea. It just helps them stay curled. I also use it for my eyebrows, and I figured I might as well show you this too. It's just a clear eyebrow gel from NYX. That's what I use for my eyebrows. Next question, what are some of your favorite things about each other? You start off.
Okay, favorite things about Becky.
Yeah.
I tell people this one a lot. Becky is so beautiful. I'm sure you see that, obviously. I think she is so beautiful.
Stop.
But the thing that I love about her the most, or my favorite thing, is that she's a better person on the inside than out. Her character is great. She's kind. She's patient. She is selfless. And that is something that I find... Am I boring you?
No, I just had to yawn.
I'll punch you in the throat in front of everybody.
Oh my gosh.
She's kind. She is selfless. No,
Oh
she's
my
just a really
gosh.
good person. Her beauty is just probably 3% of who she is to me. She supports me, which is huge. Anything that I want to do, 9 times out of 10, she's going to tell me to go for it. And she's going to be right there, whether I fail or make it or whatever, she's going to be there for me. And I love that.
That was sweet.
Yeah, I'm sweet, so.
My favorite things about Cody, he's smoking hot. He does have abs. And basically I just love him for his body. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm totally kidding. Seriously though, I would say my favorite thing about you, like non-physical, would be your sense of humor. It's also probably one of my pet peeves. But it really gets me sometimes. Like, we will be in the middle of bickering. We don't really argue very much, but we just bicker at each other. He will come at me with some lame jokes, and I can't help but to freaking smile. You know when you want to be mad at someone, so you're trying not to smile, and you're like, I'm mad at you right now. But he keeps cracking the jokes, and it gets me every time.
So the next question that we got is, in what ways are we very similar and what ways are we opposite?
I would say things that we are different in would be like food is a really big thing. Cody is an extremely picky eater.
Wow, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, and I eat any and everything under the sun. If it's edible, I eat it. Second thing, this is probably the biggest thing that I feel like kind of affects us the most because I hate it. Like, I hate that we're opposite on this, but I'm a night owl and he is not. So I could stay up till like midnight and 1 a.m. every night. I love it. I thrive. He goes to bed at like 9:30 every night, and I hate going to bed at different times. Like,
Responsible.
okay, how about Mr. Grumpy Pants?
So the first thing I think we both have in common is we don't...
Oh wait, I literally didn't say anything that we have in common.
I
don't know. We do have brown hair.
Brown hair is the one thing you could think of that we have in common. For me, what I think we have in common is we definitely have a touch of perfectionism in some aspects. Our personalities are similar in the fact that if we're going to do something and our heart is in it, we do them to the best of our abilities. We learn the song to the best of our abilities. We prepare the video to the best of our abilities. And I want to make a disclaimer here. She puts a lot of work into these videos. She puts like 8,
Really?
9, 10 hours into editing sometimes. So I hope you don't take it for granted. I appreciate her. Drop a comment down below and tell her you appreciate her because she's so good at it already. I'm so proud of you.
Oh, thanks.
And then, yeah, I can't think of much that we're really different on. The night owl thing, if I could pay money to be a night owl, I would do it. I want to be a night owl so bad, but when Mr. Grumpy Pants comes in the room, he is hard to wrestle with, so.
It's true.
Next.
What has been the best part of marriage?
I'm sorry, y'all. My hair is just getting on my last nerve. And you know what? It's going up. Go ahead.
So if I were to answer the best part of marriage, just getting to be with your best friend all the time. Commonly, I hear people who get married and they, I guess, fall out of love with their spouse almost immediately. It's constant like frustration being around them, and I can't relate to that at all. She's truly my best friend, and so that would be my answer. Just getting to be around your best friend all the time, cut up all the time, even when we're doing nothing, I enjoy it. So that would probably be my answer.
I would say best part of marriage for me would be, I just think it's really cool that we were able to get married so young. And I don't know, it was just kind of like having a fun roommate that you also love, that you're also best friends with. Like I remember going to the grocery store at like midnight and just getting like ice cream and cookies and sparkling grape juice and chips galore, and just coming home and like watching movies, staying up however late we want because we don't have parents telling us what to do, you know.
That was fun, yeah.
And just, I don't know, it's just really fun. What is something that was surprising about your spouse? This might sound kind of dumb, but I was surprised at how much I was not surprised when we got married. Does that make sense?
Yes, it makes sense.
Like when we were engaged, everyone would tell me, you're gonna learn so much about him in the first year. The first year is gonna be such an adjustment for you. It's gonna feel weird. You're gonna learn so much about each other. Basically, they would tell me that over and over. And it was really weird because whenever we got married, I feel like I really did not learn anything new about him, especially not in the first year, because we had been dating for so long before we got married, like over 5 years, that I already knew all of his living habits. I already knew how he responded in negative situations, in positive situations, stressful situations. So I really didn't have very much that I was surprised about, honestly.
What was the question?
Great.
What is something that is surprising about my spouse?
Boo!
I'm surprised you did that.
I am surprised.
Oh, okay. Becky is really good at connecting with people, but even better at connecting with people who are kind of odd, kind of off, maybe don't have really good people skills, and she just finds a way to connect with those people, and that to me is awesome. Being able to just relate to them, make them feel loved, make them feel like they're connected to whatever group we're in, and that to me, I struggle with that, and to me that's awesome. So that's something that surprised me, definitely, when I saw a trend of it happening over and over. So yeah.
Oh, sweet. All right, this is the last question, you guys, and really, are you copying me?
Are you copying me?
No, seriously. Okay. Last question. We're gonna end this really lighthearted, and this question's very easy. Just what are your favorite hobbies, or just what are some of the things you do for fun?
Favorite hobbies? I would have to go shotgun on this answer and say I have a lot of hobbies, and it just depends on which season I'm in, because I go from softball to disc golf to tennis to actual golf, and one that's been a pretty good consistent is drums. Yeah, those are my hobbies.
I think that's actually another thing that Cody and I are kind of opposite in. Cody is like a hobby junkie. Like he always has something that he's into or learning about, which I think is so cool. I think it's like an amazing feature of yours, honestly. Me, on the other hand, I'm very boring. I never really have any hobbies. Right now, I would say YouTube is my hobby, and editing.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the only thing right now that...
You've got one!
I know! Other than that, like, I like playing Mancala and doing puzzles and watching Netflix. All right, so that was the last of our questions. Hopefully it helped you get to know us a little bit better. And yeah, I think that pretty much concludes this. If you liked this video, you already know the drill, give it a thumbs up. The support really does help me, you guys. I know to you it might just be like, oh, a silly thumbs up, but really it means a lot to me. Don't forget to comment if you want to hear about our love story. We'd love to sit down and give you all the nitty-gritty, juicy details of our love story. And if you're new around here, please subscribe if you enjoyed today's video, and if you want to. If you don't want to, then that's perfectly fine too. Okay. All right, you guys, I hope y'all have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you next Thursday.
Bye!
Bye!